All right, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. We are live, coming to you all the way from Dallas, Texas. I want to welcome you to the Millennial Power Couple Show, episode 10. I am your host for this evening, Portia Johnson, and then my co-host,
Justin Johnson.
Listen, guys, I'm super excited that you decided to join us this evening because we are in for a phenomenal story, and then I believe a phenomenal blessing as well. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If this is a replay, press replay. Let us know. We want to know all of who are intending to tune in this evening. And don't forget to press that share button because we're about to get a lot of value here. I'd like to introduce to you our power couple. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Jerry McGee.
And I'm D'Angela McGee.
All right, guys. First off, I want to thank you for joining the show because I know for a fact that what you both are about to share is going to come from the heart, number one. And number two, I know for a fact it's going to bless a lot of people. But before we get into your personal story, I want you guys to share your love story and how you guys met.
How did we meet?
We met on a website. It was called Tagged.
Does it still exist?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't look at me. Don't try to get me in trouble. I don't know.
Definitely not a site that I was like, hey, if you look for somebody, go on there. You know. But,
yeah.
But that's just happened to be where we were when we met. The day we met, it's crazy because that day I had actually planned on deleting my profile. The only thing that really kept me on there at that point was I just like playing a game that was on there. And so that day I literally was planning on deleting my page, and I get this message.
Yeah.
You know, and
what did the message say?
I can't remember.
I'm being nosy now. What did it say?
What did it say? I mean, it wasn't nothing major. You know,
it wasn't no pics.
No.
It wasn't none of that. I think I said something.
Just
silly.
hello, beautiful.
No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Nothing.
It was just
something simple.
I said something like, you look like you like to laugh, so you might well have a conversation with me.
Right. Yeah, something like that.
Pimping.
Anyway, and then I think I responded something like, well, if you're funny, then I laugh, so I'll be the judge of that or something.
Yeah.
Then, oh my God, it just went crazy from there. I mean, that conversation was just laughing, just saying goofy stuff kind of back and forth after that.
So with the process of you guys getting to know each other, you decided to, of course, ask her to be your wife. Tell us, what is like one of the best memories of your marriage?
I think it had to be with like the whole family. We haven't really took a lot of trips, or we haven't even had a real honeymoon yet. So we took a road trip to my hometown, Memphis.
Okay.
And, just with all of the kids being there, and of course, Angela was there too. It just made it so much fun. One reason why I made it so much fun was because everybody in the house think they're comedians.
Yeah.
And everybody in the house think they're funnier than everybody else. So I mean, she thinks she's funnier than me. She probably is funnier than me right about now because honestly, I have actually calmed down a whole lot.
Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. I want to know, how did you know that she was the one, and how did you know that he was the one?
For me, I always go back to I was able to be myself around her.
Love that.
I mean, when I'm out in public, I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I literally talk to everybody, and so I may start dancing out in public. I may start singing out in public. I may smack her booty in public.
Okay.
So, I mean, she basically allowed me to be myself.
Right.
And with that, I found out that you can't be yourself around everybody. You can be yourself around everybody, but unfortunately, they don't like you being that person.
Yeah, everybody can accept who you are. Right.
And so she was pretty much able to accept that. And with me just being able to laugh, and laughter was always important to me. So you know, with us always laughing, us always having fun, we became friends. We actually became friends before we actually started dating. I think we talked on the phone probably about 3 months maybe. And then after that, we finally went on a date. Yeah, we finally went on a date.
I think so. Yeah, he wanted to date me after I went on a singles cruise. I think he missed me. I was like, uh-oh. She might have to find somebody. Right. But, no, for me, the first time that I kind of just looked at him outside of the, we're just friends and like to have fun, was one day he had came to visit me at my church. Coincidentally, he had came to visit the Sunday before, and I wasn't there.
I came 2 Sundays. I came 2 Sundays and she wasn't there. I don't know what the heathen was doing.
I don't remember the second one.
I just know she wasn't in church.
Yeah.
2 Sundays in a row.
Trust me, it take a lot for me to miss church. And I wasn't feeling really good at that time. Yeah. And so, but I didn't know he was coming that Sunday. For whatever reason, I wasn't in the sanctuary at the time when church started. I was in the restroom or something. But when I came out and service had already started, and I think they was praying or something, and for some reason my eyes literally locked straight over to where he was, and he was like in worship mode.
I had a tight shirt on.
He was in worship mode, and it was just something about seeing that, that just made me kind of look at him different. Of course we had talked about church and stuff before, but it was just really something about seeing him in worship that just kind of something shifted as far as how I viewed him. Because before I didn't even really realize how important seeing something like that was to having a spouse. Right. If you at least went to church, or at least didn't bother me about how much I go to church, you was pretty decent. You was good for me, But that was kind of the shift right there, how I kind of viewed him more than just a friend.
Like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously you guys have a successful marriage. So how long have you guys been married?
Oh, it was 6 years, yeah. It'll be 7 in September.
Okay, cool. So leading to the next question, take us through the first moment you knew something was wrong.
As far as this time, and just to rewind a little bit, I always say, like, you know what, poor Jerry. Because, like I said, when he came to visit the church, I wasn't there because I was sick. Yeah. It seemed like almost since around the time I met him, it seemed like something was kind of always going on with me.
You felt like he was always sick?
It was always something going on with me.
I've been taking her to the hospital.
Let me finish my story. But I promise you, he can't even believe it. I promise you, I probably hardly would get a cold before this part of my life had happened. Yeah. But I had issues when I first met him, and at that time I found out I was dealing with gallstones. So that was my first surgery I had, getting that removed. Yeah. Then a little bit after we got married, I started dealing with other issues with woman issues, and had to be hospitalized for that. I was like, good Lord, every time I turn around, he had to take care of me. But this time, I don't know, just a typical day. This was in 2016 when I first discovered something. And the crazy part about that year is everything was just going so great that year. Yeah. I think around that time, that's when we had went on vacation. Us and a big family. I think I celebrated my 20th class reunion that year. We did the pictures, some of the pictures y'all used. That was our birthday photo shoot. We had did that year because we shared the same birthday, and everything's just great. And then also closer to the end of the year, I kind of started hearing in my spirit it was time for me to leave my job, and I was kind of unexpected, like, wait a minute, we not arrived there, we trying to get there, but, this, kind of ignored it a little bit, but at some point, God was like, it's time to go. So I was there for 4 years, so I resigned from my job in September. 2 months later, in November, on my birthday, just like any typical day, I hopped in the shower, ready to get my day going, hopped in the shower, and then all of a sudden, I kind of felt something like, wait a minute, what is this? But I didn't really think too much about it because even a little bit before then, I started kind of like getting knots behind my ears. And I think I was figuring it must be due to stress. Okay. You kind of stress and your body just kind of starts doing some stuff. So I didn't think too much about it. The next month, same thing, hopping in the shower, like, wait a minute, well, what is this? So I was like, okay, let me at least go see what's going on. Right. And like I said, I had resigned from a job, and at that time, I didn't even really have insurance. you know, at his job, the open enrollment didn't start until March, but you know, I'm like, I'll be fine, you know, I can make it to that.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, I don't need to put this off. Let me go at least see what's going on. You know, even if it's stress, let me see what I can do to stop, you know, feeling like this. When I got an exam done, it's like, okay, I need you to go and get a mammogram. Now, mind you, I had just turned 39, so of course, I'm not even thinking about mammograms or nothing at this point, you know. So, but I was like, okay, so they referred me to get one. I get one. Then they're like, okay, well, we need you to go and get this biopsy. I'm like, okay. Even still, then it's still not registering what could possibly be, you know, because like I said, I'm still thinking my body's just kind of going crazy because due to stress.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the about a week later, I get a call. I think the kids had already gone to school, and he just so happened to be home, which was crazy because usually he would have already been gone. I get a call, and they tell me that I did test positive for breast cancer in my left breast. And, you know, I just kind of hung up the phone like, okay. You know, I didn't really know how to react at that time because I don't think it's still really registered, you know. So I tell him, you know, what they told me. And, you know, I just remember him kind of hugging me. You know, it's going to be fine. He kind of went on his day. And it just kind of went from there, you know.
Yeah.
Now I know what it is, you know. So yeah.
I want to ask, when you found out that she had breast cancer, with her not, it hasn't really registered yet. She really didn't feel affected by it. How did you feel at that time? Just hearing the news first off again.
I think for me, I didn't really show her no emotions. It was more of what I would have liked to do. I would have liked to have been that strong husband who say, okay, come on, let's pray down to heavens. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I was really more in shock myself. And I was thinking about, okay, I can't let her see that I'm really in shock, so I want to make sure that she stay calm and make sure that she don't worry about anything or get scared. So I was really in shock myself, and I was just, you know, I just went off. I can't remember. I just went in the other room after we got through talking and talked to God and asked God. I said, God, I don't know what to do. I said, this is a new journey for me. So whatever I need you to do, whatever you need to do, whatever I need to do, help me, because I'm really still in shock at that particular moment. So I wasn't necessarily terrified. I wasn't scared or anything like that. I wasn't thinking about that that she was gonna, you know, die. Nothing like that. But it was just more of one of them shock things, and I was really more worried about how she feels. If she's gonna be scared, and how it's gonna affect her mentally.
So now the process of you recognizing that you have breast cancer, going back and forth to the doctor, has finally begun. You received this diagnosis. You left your job. Tell us, how do you comfort one another throughout this process? Because you went through chemo. How do you comfort one another through this?
You know something, honestly, during this time, and I'm gonna be real transparent. During this time, it seemed like it would have probably brought us closer together. Honestly, I felt like we began to argue more. Do you feel that way? It felt like we began to argue more. Felt like we wasn't getting along. Only thing that I knew is that for me was that I need to make sure that we are taken care of financially. And I was so focused on making sure that we was taken care of financially that She felt like you was in it all by yourself, right?
Yes, marriage wise, going through it, I did feel alone. It was one of those things where, I was like, you would think it was weird to feel alone because when I say I had a support team out this world, from church family, my own family, I was blessed in that area because, like my mom, my sister, and I had one of my close cousins and my best friend. And mind you, and I had resigned. None of us had jobs at this time. That has never happened.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Lord, then I already set this up. So all of my help, I was already that's how I was getting to all these appointments. That's how everything. I had all these people around me. But then when I was at home, when all the people were gone, outside of my kids, now they were, everything. When I say the roles almost kind of switched, it was 3 mamas and 1 child, almost, but as for like you said with us, we seem to be growing apart. He took on his second job, and of course, we had the stream, so he was so focused there. And I want to say that probably in his mind, he probably felt like he didn't need to really just be doing anything other than what the part he was doing because I looked like I was so taken care of, But in reality,
you felt alone. I
felt alone, and of course, with him working so much with me, and again, that's why I kind of thought I didn't really say much about it, because like I said, I'm already like, oh my God, I've been sick. Seems like since we've been in this marriage, I don't want to just put on extra stress. This is a whole nother level. I don't want to stress him out by, maybe like, why you not spending, he working 2 jobs, so I would be silent, in this area, but at the same time, I'm falling apart. You know what I'm saying? And I have no idea really what his mind is because when he did come home, I know he needed his rest because he don't have time to rest for a little bit. Then he back out the door.
Again,
so again, communication was way off. Like I said, he felt like he was doing what he needed to do, and I felt like, let me just deal with it the way I'm dealing with it, but in reality, as far as the marriage goes, it was going further away.
Yeah. So she felt alone. Did you feel alone? Or what did you feel?
So I felt alone myself, and I think the reason why I felt alone was because, and I don't know if it was because of selfishness or not, but I felt like I wanted affection, and I feel like I wasn't getting it. I honestly felt like I wasn't getting it. Now, some people they would be like, well, she going through breast cancer. You supposed to be comforting her. You supposed to be giving her everything that she needs. But that wasn't my mindset. My mindset was, I need something in my life. I totally felt alone because I seen. And it wasn't a jealousy that that she had the family.
But she was getting a lot of support.
Yeah, it wasn't jealousy. It was more of at that time I was thinking, I'm like, man, all my family in Memphis. I wish I had that. But I didn't. Even thinking about it, it's a hurtful feeling because I think about. It was days that both of us cried. It was days that she cried, she felt alone. It was days that I cried because most of the time, honestly, people don't know. People don't know. But when we was going through this, she was in the room by herself. I was in the room by myself. It was some hard days. It was some hard days. So to say that, I can't say that we really comfort each other. We have more comfort when we actually went to church. Yeah. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm trying to talk.
No.
But I'm getting
I know.
But we actually had more comfort when we went to our church and our church family. At least for me in a way, we had more comfort. I gotta give me statistics. Well, go ahead.
We definitely appreciate you for being transparent
Mm-hmm.
because we understand that, you know, marriage is not easy, you know.
Right.
But the good thing about it, though, is, you know, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you guys here today, and there's a lot of people benefiting from y'all stories, so that's vital, man. So we definitely appreciate that.
Definitely appreciate the
So
honesty.
leading to the next question. So as a husband, you know, how did you actually balance your family, marriage, and work without forgetting about yourself?
Or did you forget about yourself?
You know something. You know, one of the things that I actually do for my own entertainment, for my own me time, is that I just go to the movies by myself. You know, I don't want nobody to go with me. Now I like going to the movies with people.
You go early in the morning or you go at night?
No, I never go at night. The only time you're gonna catch me at the movies at night, I'm probably gonna be at her. The movie's gonna start at 7:00, or if I go to the movie about 12:00 and I end up staying until about 7:00, I still haven't been delivered from jumping from movie to movie. So don't judge for me. But that's one of the things. That's how I balance my time to make sure I haven't forgot about myself. That's how I treat myself. I go to the movies. That's my thing.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, man. Because we all have stuff that we actually do to, you know, get some time to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So did you either ever become impatient or frustrated towards each other?
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You know, I became. You want to go?
Like you kind of mentioned before, things, you know, between us was rough. Like I said, the communication was so off. So, you know, if words were spoken a lot of times, you know, you already kind of got your defenses up because you're already frustrated with how you feeling right now.
Right.
And so, I mean, we had our times where, I mean, we couldn't even finish a conversation without it end up turning into a fight.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say probably within that 2-year period, we probably came close to divorcing at least twice. You know, so, I mean, at that point, I'm like, you know, I don't know how it's going to happen, but if this is the way we need to go, you know, because it was hard. You know, it was hard to come home and, you know, that's supposed to be your safe haven. That's supposed to be your peace and stuff. And it's like everywhere else is where you're getting your peace. You go to church and you're getting peace. If I go somewhere else and hang with a friend, you know, I'm getting peace. And, you know, hanging out with the kids, I'm getting peace. But it was like once we were at home, all the peace was gone at that time, you know. So, and it was like we couldn't find a way to bounce back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're still struggling to really get 100%. You know, we're definitely not where we were. You know, but it's still a struggle, and it's in like my pastor says all the time. You know, becoming. You know, means you have to put in the work. You know, it's not just gonna happen. You know, we have to continue to work toward it. You know, to kind of get back.
Because marriage is work.
It is work. You know,
Yeah.
and like I said, it was pretty rough, you know. And the crazy part is, in the beginning, especially, I read a lot. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes you can Google some stuff and then you've been to diagnose yourself with something you didn't have, you know.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wanted to get an idea of other people who was going through it. You know, was this something normal? You know, so I kind of read about marriages. You know, how did marriages kind of. I mean, and it went either way. I mean, I read some where the marriages grew closer. They were closer, you know. It was a beautiful thing, and they got even better than before. I read somewhere everything just went down south, but they just kind of kept together anyway. But it just was never the same. And then of course you hear that some just ended, you know. And you would think, oh my God, that's just terrible. Like, why would you?
Do they say when you was doing your research on that? Did they ever say what was the breaking point? Was it because of neither party knew what to do to comfort one another or had answers for one another?
That was one. I mean, it was kind of different reasons. Some men, you know, just could not handle the pressure of it. You know, they just wasn't strong enough to deal with the process. Some, they might not. It might even been more physical. Like, they just wasn't attracted to them like that anymore. Once, you know, you're getting stuff removed and all that kind of stuff, they just didn't look at their wife the same. You know, it was a lot. And then, like, the communication and just stuff just, because, you change within this time. A lot of things that, mentally you done changed and you view life and different stuff differently. And of course you don't know ahead of time how you'll handle something until you're there. That's the thing about the vows, you say I do to this and that. You say I do to the richer and the poor, but then as soon as somebody loses a job, everybody they can't even function no more, So, and we say I do to...
Wait a minute.
Right, to the sickness and health, but you say I do to this stuff, but you don't really just think about this. I don't think people always just think about that, like, seriously, what if something really happened? Would I be able to survive? Do I love this person enough to, if I had to pick them up and put them on the toilet, would I do that? If they look totally different because they done been through something, would I still, so you don't really learn how strong you are. That's the thing about it. When you go through certain things, that's what's going to show where your weaknesses are. And
your mental toughness.
And everything. Yeah. You can try to hide behind stuff all day long, but when you really hit some stuff, this is where everything's going to really be exposed. You claim to be this strong person. You claim to be this and that.
Yeah.
That's what's really going to expose where you really are for real. So...
I remember, even when she talked about that, I remember when we had marriage counseling, and our pastor, he usually asked a couple of questions, but one of the questions that he would ask, so you love this person, you want to be with them for the rest of your life, and he would just come out and ask you, what if something happened to them and they can't do nothing for themselves, and you have to take care of them for the rest of your life? Do you love them enough to do that? And he asked these questions because these are actually real life issues that you may or may not have to deal with.
Right.
And at this particular time, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was going through, these different surgeries and a lot of times, she have her issues that she's dealing with. I'm trying to be there for her, and sometimes men can just think about themselves. Sometimes we can honestly just think about ourselves, and everybody's different. And for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was going through. I guess the sexual part. The attraction was one thing. Really wasn't a big deal because I knew her heart in a way. But frustration was starting to build up.
Yeah, like you said, the affection.
Frustration, it was building up because, and I don't know if it was just from me just being a kid, because when I said I was going to get me a wife, my mind was we're going to be affectionate to each other. And so it was like, it was that
was your love language, and it stopped. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and of course on my end, I would assume that it would be an understanding. Of course, it's not going to be like this, but why would you be frustrated when I'm in pain right now? I can't barely function, so why would you have these expectations, at least right now, but it feels like I said, you want what you want. It just is what it is, and the thing about it, like I said, when you kind of already have other issues, and it's almost like when you add something on top of it, it just heightens it even more so, so I think it was just kind of one of those things as well, you know, so.
I want to ask you guys, because it has gotten to a point now where you said it's not all the way 100% there, but you guys definitely went through a recovery road where you had your last final surgery. As a woman, things are happening, changes are happening to your body. That's another, self-conscious thing that you have to have with yourself,
right?
Due to your sickness. But after your last surgery, you are now a survivor.
Right.
You survived this. So now, where are you mentally?
Mentally, I'm in a good place. Because my focus, even throughout the journey, but especially at this point, my focus has been, okay, now I'm trying to get back to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This was something that I went through, but now I'm trying to get back to me. You know, even before it started, you know, I had got myself in pretty good shape. You know, but then. Throughout the process,
we was working out together.
Right, I had picked up quite a bit of weight, you know, due to, you know, a combination of things, you know, due to the treatment and stress, you know, because my body holds stress big time.
Cookies.
And then stress eating, that was always my go-to.
Yeah.
Stuff started bothering me, I would kill a whole bag of cookies, and I guess it adds to the back. You know, so,
and you know, I don't think I helped her at all because. You know, I was trying to, you know, give her, you know, some type of peace, and I knew she didn't like gaining this weight, but I would always bring cookies home.
And I can't say no to cookies, so you know.
I wouldn't even bring the cookies home for me. I was bringing them home for her.
Yeah. But how was it for you knowing that your wife was a survivor? Like you guys and now can, you know, share your story and say, we survived this. Not just her, like we survived it.
You know, I really never thought about it. I mean, but as we talk about it now, I look back and as she said, you have to be mentally tough to go through it, to stick around and to support each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, one thing that, and I'm trying to make sure I remember the question so I answer it correctly. But one thing that I do know is that you never know who have your back until you actually go through something.
Yeah.
I don't care if you married to them, you're just dating them. You never know who have your back until you go through something with them. Like D'Angelo, if all my bowels stopped working right now and I couldn't function and I couldn't walk, I have so much faith that she's not gonna go nowhere. You know, and I don't know if it's just ignorance. I don't know if it's because I did this for you. You can't go nowhere now. Because I'm telling you, I took, and this before the cancer. Me and D'Angelo, we've been to the hospital a lot of times together.
Yeah, she said that.
A lot of times together. So, but.
I'll be feeling bad. I was like, oh, Lord. I said, you know, I remember saying to myself, Lord, I mean, he did not sign up for this. He signed up for a wife. But then it was almost like the Lord corrected me in it and said, yes, he did sign up for that.
Yeah.
Because he said I do. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing about it. You know, you may feel like when you in the middle of something, Lord, I didn't sign up for this. Oh, yes, you did. You know, you said before all these people, I do to all of this.
Yeah.
Not just the happy times, not just the good times.
Yeah.
You agreed to this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then, you know,
said you was going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time, and this is why you have to be careful what you ask for. I remember one time I stood up in the church, and I told my pastor and I told my church, I said, you know, I want to be married to somebody, and I want to be able to bless somebody and help somebody through our marriage. And Lord, I did not know I was going to have to go through this and go through that. And, you know, we would have to, you know, argue and fight and then come back together and love each other and remind each other that, you know, we still here.
Right.
Yeah.
We still here.
Yeah. I love it. I want to ask you, what educational advice that you would give to men and women concerning breast cancer or their health or anything like that?
My biggest thing is just first, you know, your yearly checkups and different stuff like that. Because I know a lot of times we take that for granted. We're like, we'll be okay. And we bypass, you know, going to check. You know, we just, we don't want to have to take off work, do this. Just, you know, you feel fine, you're definitely not going to make a big deal out of it. So, I mean, that's always a start. And then also, if something feels a little off, go get it checked out. You know, go, it may turn out to be nothing, but at least you know. You know, because a lot of times, I think some things worsen because we keep ignoring it. and then now it's to this bad point where you could, if you'd have just went on ahead and got it looked at then, because I really feel like I thank God for grace in my case, because when I first felt it, I didn't go running to the doctor at the time. I just assumed, it's just stress, and because I've been, this whole job thing and what's going on at home and all this kind of stuff, my body just reacted to that, So, and as fast as it was growing, what if I had put that off a little bit longer? Yeah. So, don't ignore, stuff the signs, like I said, it could be nothing, but at least and then you're comfortable, so definitely that, definitely don't ignore your body. Yeah. When something is a little off, just go get it checked. And
I would say, it's just important just to have regular checkups.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to wait until something starts feeling funny. I mean, usually, a lot of times, people's lives are saved because they just have regular checkups. Yeah. And so, when you just have regular checkups, things can be caught so early, and you can avoid a whole lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I want to know, because we know that this topic is about the important part of the vows in sickness and through health, and rich and poor, that's important too.
Right.
I want to know, what advice would you give to anybody out there that is either married, that are right now going through maybe health problems, or just feel as if they're going through a challenging time? What advice would you give to that couple? You let them know that they can get through it.
I would say, number one, with any relationship or anything, and and it's crazy that was one of our hardest things, is communication. That's the most important thing, because if you have good communication, that will help you when you're going through the other stuff. So, but if you got issues there, and then you start going through other stuff like that, that's when it seems like stuff is like 50,000 times worse than it really is. Yeah. Because you're unable to communicate these things, because like my pastor said, you should be able to tell your spouse anything,
right,
and your spouse should feel comfortable enough to tell you anything, but if you're not there, it could cause problems, so it's definitely something that you want to always work on. You have to figure out your own way. It's not a ABC type way. I mean, you have to figure out y'all, and that's what really getting to know each other, and that's real big. Really get to know each other, because when things do hit, the heart of that person. So even if they do say something a little off than normal, the heart of that person, so you won't have to take it as more for what it is, so, some people may have a moment. You never know what's going on with people, why they react this way, or why they do certain things, but if you know the heart of that person, what to say. Okay, Lord, let me pray about this, because something's going on with that person, so yeah, that would definitely be, advice that I would give.
Yeah. How about you, Jerry?
Well, she say heart, I say spirit. I think they're both, the same thing in so many different ways. Learn the person's spirit. Learn who they are. Some people are quiet. Some people talk all the time. Some people, are loud. Because even if you know the person, and for some reason there's a heated argument, of course, when words are thrown out there, we have to always remember that you can't take them words back. I can't remember a pastor. I can't remember if it was Pastor Robertson or Pastor Floyd. And they told me this example. They said, imagine having a handful of feathers in your hand, and you just throw them feathers out. It's going to be so hard trying to catch them feathers. And that's how it is with the words. When you throw them words out there, it's hard to take them words back, especially when those hurtful words. And I don't know about no other women, but I know this woman, she can hold on to them. She can hold on to them. So, I mean, if you say something that's mean, something hurtful, so as married couples, anybody, who have a desire to get married, or if you want to stay married, you have to watch the words that you say. The words that you say is everything.
I agree.
They're so important. Just like watching the negative words that you say, you have to make sure that you pour into your spouse as well. You have to make sure that you always continue to encourage them, and whatever that they may need to hear, because the importance of love is, somebody love language. They need reassurance of that you care verbally, whatever it is. You need to speak them things to that person.
Right.
So that's what I would say.
And above even that, is you have to, especially with the married people, you have to keep God in the center of it. Because I promise you, there is no way we would be sitting here right now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't God in the middle of it. Because on those times where I could not talk to him, or I was so frustrated and all this kind of stuff, how I'm going to get past this, I had to for real lean on God. A lot of times you think, yeah, I trust God, I lean on God for everything. Nope, sometimes it ain't until you get in the middle of something where you just, okay, God, I'm really for real leaning on you, because I know there is nobody else that's going to be able to get me through this. So you have to keep your mind somewhere because of course you got the enemy attacking in your mind and make you feel a certain way, but then you could allow that to overtake you, or you can lean on God's word,
right.
To use that to fight against that. So whether it's words coming from a spouse or just coming from what you're going through or outside or whatever, you have to have that. I don't see how any type of relationship could possibly make it without it. I mean, it may be something, but I don't know how they.
You don't know one. Right?
So.
I love that. Anybody some marks?
Well, like I said, we definitely enjoyed you guys. I mean, y'all have a powerful story, and like I said, I know a lot of people see value in what you guys talked about. And basically, what I got from this is, love overcomes all, and what it's really about is through sickness and health. And exactly what you said earlier is that you really don't know what you really don't know what basically somebody really if they're true or not until you actually go through something.
Right.
And like Mike Tyson always says that everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Real talk. Well, listen, guys, please let's show this power couple, D'Angelo and Jerry McGee, a lot of hearts. Give them a lot of love because they just put it out on the table, and I love it. And I thank you guys for being transparent and real in the situation, and share this out with other power couples, with other people who may be going through a challenging time. We have a breast cancer survivor sitting with us, and I'm truly happy that you're here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, and good night.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Good job.